Hello, this is Michele Holang, episode 52, Healing Beyond Words, part 2, dedicated to Suicide Prevention month of September. I'd like to just take a quiet moment to remember a dear client and friend, Pam Heath, who passed on a couple of days ago. So Pam was a beautiful lady. She was brilliant. She was all about yes, saying yes to life, yes to living, yes to possibilities, and yes to yourself, most importantly. And Pam had a way with words that just took your everything, all the objections away. It just melted away all the thoughts of disagreeing or just, it was just so pure. It was beautiful. And she had an energy about her where she'd take a look at you and look through the corner of her eye and have that little grin or smile on her face that would just get you to saying yes, just simply yes. It was hard for you to get away with a no because Pam wouldn't allow it. And that was the type of person she was. And she had all these stories. She battled stage 3 pancreatic cancer. After stopping chemotherapy after 6 months, she survived that, and then they informed her she had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and she still undauntedly refused chemo because she said it was worse than death. And that was Pam. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she felt. She had allowing of being truly, authentically herself, showing up, asking questions, always her own health advocate. And it was, it was a good thing to be with her all these years. I was with her for 3 years. We had a beautiful connection. And she went through a lot of challenges. And kudos to you up there, Pam, wherever you are. I know you're looking up down on us and wishing us all well. And I just like to appreciate you for the light you were to the world and to the people you helped, to the program that you generously supported the best way you could with your admission fees to your Yes event, and invited the CEO of that charity to come on to talk about how they worked with bullies to stop bullies from causing young people to take their lives. Because yes, suicide does happen when bullying takes place and someone decides that they can't take it anymore. And so this is the sad part of when we get into this topic of prevention, suicide prevention awareness. And that is, how can we play a better part in our own lives and in those around us, and who we can help to navigate when they're not feeling good, when they're feeling like they're at the end of their rope, and they're giving up on the want to continue life. Pam shared with me once that, and she's shared a lot with people. She's written about it in her books of how her daughter died from suicide, and that was a rough thing. It took Pam down a very, very, very dark path. She lost her house, she lost her husband, she lost everything, and she lived on the street for, I think it was a year. And she shared this story because she wanted to help people with it. Because what she shared was, one night after she had given up on everything, it happened that a man was approaching her, and he started to come to her, and she ended up in her vehicle where she was living, to lock the door. And in that moment, she told me she realized she wanted to live. And she said that was a very, very deep thing, because when she realized she wanted to live, the next day she got up and she got into living again. She contacted individuals she knew, and then she got a helping hand, and then she pulled herself literally out of the gutter and started to build her business once again. And she did really, really well, which is about the time I met her. She was going through side effects of COVID, which is why she She signed up with me to stop the meltdown she had every day at 2 o'clock, where she'd fall into a stupor, she'd sleep until she woke up and she had no control over that thing that just kind of got her unconscious. She had an event coming up in a couple of weeks and she needed to be alert. She needed to be able to be informed so she could deliver the program she had people signed up for. And so that's how we came into working together, with me sparkling her every week. And that went on for almost 3.5 years. And so here we are, reminiscing about a beautiful lady with spunk, with vision, with a want to help people, help especially kids who were facing suicide because of bullying, because she had been bullied. Pam was bullied as a child as well, because she said she was overweight. And so she got all of that too as well. So hers is a story, grounded in learned wisdom, in lived experiences. And she just beautifully knew how to share those stories to get clients, really inspired to pull their socks up again. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. So anyways, trauma healing is, the statistics say that the best way to get past trauma is to have that sense of being seen, of being appreciated, of being sensed, without having to tell your sob stories, without having to speak. And you see, this is where Sparkle comes into play. Sparkle Chi is frequency-based healing. And when I met Pam, I really didn't understand it very well, but she, from the day she met me, I think it was January 29th or the first weekend in February of 2022, she said, "Michele, I see you." And this was on a room with a bunch of people on Zoom. It was a beautiful group. And Pam said, "I see you." And I had given a pro bono sparkle session, and she said, "You're the one." And I looked at her because I don't see energy. And I said, "Okay." And then she said, "I see you. You're the one. We're going to work together," or something similar to that. And then shortly, a couple of days after, she called me up and we talked, and she became one of my VIP clients. And then maybe a session after or two, she would always say, "I see you. Don't you understand? I see you. You don't have to explain or try to explain what you're doing, because I see you." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" She says, "Well, I see what you're doing. When you're doing this with your fingers, you're not just wiggling your fingers in the air. I can see you moving lights across the screen, from one part of the screen to the next. You're moving colors from one part of the screen to the next. You're putting your hand through the screen and pulling back color, and you're sending color, and it's like a sci-fi movie." And I went, "Oh, you see energy?" And she's going, "Yeah, what you're doing is tangible. It's not just air. I've never seen anyone do what you do. You have a power that I haven't seen before." And she says, "I'm 65 years old." And so that started our story. And so frequency based, it's where there's a frequency. We all have our own frequency, believe it or not. You have a frequency. My kids have their own frequency. I have frequency, and I emit frequency. And my frequency happens to be very high frequency, because Pam actually just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she told me, "What's that with your painting? What's going on with it behind you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Well, something is happening, because your painting is interacting with you right now, because I'm seeing it. I just happen to look up and I see your aura. That's your energy field around you. We all have that, and some people see it, I don't." And she says, "Your aura right now is a light blue. It's so light, it's almost white. But there's something going on, because the painting is taking that energy and it's sending you yellow energy." And I went, "Oh." And then a little later she says, "And now it's that lime yellow, that's green, that green that's in your painting." And it happened to be that lime green. And that lime green is actually what we identified about a few months ago, maybe 3 months ago or more, earlier this year, that that green is the green of Solfeggio frequency 528 hertz. And that 528 hertz is a healing frequency that the Gregorian monks, they chanted. And that particular frequency is known to heal DNA. It's the miracle frequency and it's universal love. So there's love that happens, there's DNA healing that happens when they transmit that frequency onto cells, and however they do those experiments. And so these things are what can help you if you are in that space where you are traumatized, you're in grief, you're not sure which end is up, you are in pain. There's a frequency, and this frequency, if you open up to it and you can receive it, it can actually help you by shifting your energy, your frequency, your aura, and helping you to experience a different set of sensations, or actually get healed. So what is it that why is it that frequency requires no words? Look up Rupert Sheldrake. He talked about morphogenic fields, morphic fields, and that is where you have all this information and it forms into this cloud. I like to think of it as a cloud. And in that cloud, it's rich. The more information that's about a certain topic, the bigger this field gets. And then when you're able to tune into that field, then you're able to get some of that information flowing into you. And it's all energetic because we're all energy and vibration. And we have Dr. Emoto, and he showed that our thoughts, I mean, think of it, your thoughts have energy. So he proved that by showing that water crystals, when you're taking a shower and you are thinking beautiful thoughts, the water crystals, when they photograph it, they have beautiful formation, just gorgeous. It's like, it's brilliant. They're shining, they're bright. And when someone starts thinking negative, dark thoughts, and they take pictures of the water in that situation that's coming into this space of the shower, what they find is that the crystals of the water are ugly, they're dull, they're dark, they're dense. And it's like, when we're going through difficult times, what our body really wants is we want to feel safe again. We want to not feel that sense of agitation or that really heavy, dense feeling of something, coming down, weighing down, feeling dark and scary. And we want to get rid of that. We want to get into this feeling of being really clear with our energy, which means light and bright. And even if you can think of it this way, when you feel joyful, there's that lightness, right? It's that feeling of elation, and we're craving to feel centered, to feel grounded instead of scattered, frenetic, scared. If we're scared, we're just going, our mind, our energy is going all over the place. Whereas if we're calm and centered, we feel that's calmness in us, and we have that feeling almost of not having any concerns because we feel like we're in control. That's energy, keeping our energy clear and clean of all disturbance. And that's what we talk about when we talk about the HeartMath Institute in California. They have cardiologists there, many of them doing research on the heart as well as on brain coherence and heart coherence, and when the brain is in coherence with the heart, how that amplifies the energy that goes out, and how then you can connect with loved ones across the space or people you don't know, and you can get energy moving, beautiful energy and vibration moving miles, thousands of miles away. And that might seem airy fairy, right? But really, if you think about it, when you're with going to a room and there's someone there who is there might be someone there in the room who your eyes just go to, you just want to approach them because you can feel their energy and you can sense their energy and you just want to see and find out who this person is. And they call that sometimes charisma, right? They use these words to kind of give that feeling of the energy around a person. But when there is a high frequency there, lower energy will get entrained and pulled up. And you might find if you get to be around a charismatic person that when you approach them, you actually start to feel more energized yourself because energy entrains, higher frequencies pull you up and increases your frequency because that's the law of quantum physics. When there's a higher frequency, we tend to get entrained and pulled up to a higher vibrational level. And so this is what happens during Sparkle Chi, because when we have this energy, if you allow yourself to open up to receiving and allow your energy, just breathe into that and just be relaxed and just allow, and there's nothing to do, then you can get entrained and you could find that you are in a different feeling space during and after the sparkle. So let's now, I think, let's now, we didn't talk too much about other than being aware that if we want to protect those we love and those around us to keep them safe. Last episode, episode 51, I spoke about really stopping the business, and I have been guilty of that, where we're just going forward with our goals, our life, or what we're focused on achieving, and then we forget to tune in to the feeling side of our heart, to feel into and to observe our loved ones, the children, our spouses, our relatives, our friends, and really notice, take the time to notice how they are. And a lot of times it's not about asking the question, how are you? It's more about feeling into it and really sensing, looking to see if there's something under the smile. Because as I mentioned in episode 51 last time, is that many times, not many times, but there are some people who they mask their pain or they're overwhelmed by smiling, making jokes, making light of it. And underneath it all, in their quiet times, they have a difficult time because they can't, they're depressed or they're going through difficult times and hard times, and they don't want to share it, or they don't know, or they're embarrassed to share it, or they lost their job, or and they're in a dark place, they can't afford to do what they need to do, or they're sick and hurting and they don't want to burden people with knowing how much pain they're in. And so there's a lot of things there that tuning in and tuning into yourself, because sometimes we ourselves need to tune into ourselves, because maybe we're supporting loved ones who are going through difficult times themselves, and we forget, being heart-centered, to look into and make sure that we ourselves are keeping our energy levels up and getting replenished, to getting the recharge somehow, to replenish the energy supply. Because when you're supporting someone who is not going through an easy time, what happens is that energy can sometimes start to affect you when you are the caregiver. And so part of this too is to tune into yourself and be honest with yourself as to where you're at. And that being said, why? To be selfish so you can start to build up your own energy so that you can continue to support those who are you're trying to support because they are going through a difficult time. So what I like us to do right now is to go into the sparkle segment of the show. And if we can just start by simply, if you want to join me, close your eyes gently and just get yourself into a comfortable position, whether you're seated or lying down, and with your spine straight if possible, and pull yourself up from where you're all through your spine so it's straight. And as you do that, think about where your head, your shoulders, your arm, your legs are. And as you do that, check in with each of them, starting at the top of your head for whether there's any tension or any discomfort in your forehead, your neck. As you turn your neck left to right, just notice and just make a note of it. What rating would you give it? 1 to 10, where 10 is not comfortable, 10 is not good. So if you're tense, is it a 10 where it's so tense you can't even move it? Or is it 0 where it's loose and relaxed? And then notice your shoulders, your neck, the back of your neck. How tense? Are you tense in the shoulders? In your arm? How's your arms feeling? Are they feeling good? In your chest, in your waist, around your waist, in your hips, your legs. As you do that, just intend and feel them relaxing. Allow them to relax and get supple. And then breathe in deeply to the count of 3. And then hold for the count of 6. And then breathe out through your mouth for the count of 9. And just allow yourself to feel the air in the room going around your body. And let's now go into the sparkle segment. What I'd like you to do is just to visualize this beautiful tube of light coming through from the heavens to your crown chakra at the top of your head, and just see this as a golden glimmering light, beautiful cosmic light, or it could be silvery, glistening, or a mixture. And just see this beautiful light coming into your body and then moving all through your body to all your cells. And just breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, all the love. And then just breathe out everything that's not serving you through the window, through the door, through the corridor to your bottom of the feet, and feel yourself connecting through to Mother Earth, to your very own special crystal at the center of the earth. Whatever healing crystal you love, amethyst, rose quartz, selenium, selenite, carnelian, amethyst, whatever it is that you love, or all of them. And then as that crystal cleanses energy, allow it to go back and join this cosmic, beautiful healing energy from the heavens and circulate everywhere in your body. And just breathe in, allow the sparkle to work. Release all negativity, all regrets, all sorrows. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Allow yourself to breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, all the love. And then for those of you who have hopes and dreams and things you want to achieve, I want you to put up an intention right now, what that is. And just hold it, feel it, see yourself doing it. Let's put out some good vibes. Expand into that space where there's all beautiful possibilities available to us right now. Just put it out there and allow. Allow. Open your arms to receiving. Feel it. No words required, just feel it. And then take another deep breath in, hold for 3 seconds. Breathe out for 4 through your mouth. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes gently as you wiggle your toes and come back into now. And then as you do that, just allow yourself to move gently in wherever you are, in your seat or on your bed. Breathe in deeply, breathe out everything, all the tension in your body. And then think about how you're feeling, what you're noticing. And if you can't explain it, that's okay. If you notice a shift, that's okay. No need to explain, just feel. What matters is that energy doesn't lie. And that if you're feeling lighter, that's an indication that you released something. And so good job if you're feeling lighter. If you're feeling more energized, if you're feeling clearer in your mind with not so many thoughts going through, you've just got sparkled. And so if you know anyone who needs an uplift, something uplifting in their life, please feel free, please do share the link to episodes 51, 52. Come on live on the show if you would like to. That's always an option. And when that happens, we can actually connect in a more direct way. And you never know when that happens, what will happen. So if you would like to, I'm thinking of creating a weekly send out for people who subscribe to the Sparkle Experience show and send their email in, letting me know what their email is, and then I will set up a subscription free for you to receive on a, it might be, I'm not sure yet, bi-weekly or a monthly basis, Sparkle frequency cards that I will be sending out as a thank you for subscribing and for caring, for sharing this channel to help people add a little sparkle to their day and to their lives. And so with that, I hope you all keep safe. I hope you start to tune in more. If you haven't been tuning in at all, to do that, start doing that again, because sometimes we get so busy we forget, and we get caught up into the life of running and getting things done, and we forget to take the time to really feel with our hearts and sense others around us with that feeling side of us. And some of us are already in the head, like I used to be so much, and I still am a bit. And it's a reminder to drop down to the heart and feel, because you can feel the where a loved one is very more easily than you might imagine if you just try to tune in that way. And so with that, I'd like to wish you all a very good rest of evening, and please do come on to the next Sparkle Experience show, or share the link, join in. There's different ways you can connect with me if you end up getting sparkled and you want to get more custom engagements going with me, or if you want to learn more about the system of Sparkle and how to become more of a CEO of you. Those links are in many of the descriptions on the YouTube videos that are posted on the Sparkle Experience show. So until we see you again, remember, it's all energy and vibration, and Sparkle just is timeless. And from my heart to yours, keep yourself healthy, happy, and do tune in to your own divine spark within. Sense those around you, tune in, tell them you love them and care about them, and let's have people feeling good again, all the people who are around us. If you'd like to, please crack your code, understand yourself and others, and that will also give you a different depth of connection with those you work with, live with, and play with. Good night. It's Michele Holang saying good night. Bye for now.